Well, it was a great game. I told our players Wednesday night that we didn't play well Monday night in Omaha, and that I knew that they would respond. And I know the team in the other locker room, and they were not pleased with the way they played Wednesday, and I knew they would respond. So I anticipated a great game tonight. I thought Creighton played very well. I thought we had stretches where we played really well but didn't have our best game. The difference in the game was, our home crowd. Our students were outstanding. The fan support was unbelievable. And on a night we didn't play particularly well, our fans helped us. So we were fortunate we were at home because Creighton battled, and I knew it would be. But I'm really happy for Jovan. He's a young man that wanted us to play in this tournament. We've rode him all year, and for him to have his last performance in an Oregon uniform and score 29 points and play his heart out like he's done the whole year for us. When people picked us 10th, and there were people saying that we wouldn't win a conference game, and I'm not sure, but we may have had the lowest point total ever for a team going into the season on the Pac-10 poll. Jovan Catron was the guy, and without his leadership, without his stick-to-itiveness, coming to practice every day, working his tail off, keeping the other guys going through a couple bad losing streaks, this season wouldn't have had the success, whatever that is. And again, I think our fans were unbelievable. Just a great job tonight in picking up a team that really needed some help. So.
DJ said the last play was just whoever had it with 7 seconds go at it, so you weren't.
We wanted to spread the floor. We didn't have anybody who particularly had a good night, with the exception of Jovan, and we definitely didn't want him driving it at the hole. So, we had the floor spread. We were hoping to get a one-on-one situation and a drive to the hole. We settled for some jump shots in the first half, and we had 10 fouls on them. We just took some bad shots. We had an opportunity to take a little lead into the halftime. We took some threes that were and we weren't shooting it well. And instead of driving the ball at the basket, as you noticed, the 2 last baskets that we scored were both nose to the goal, just driving it. Garrett goes to the goal and hits one, and EJ goes to the goal and hits one. And there was a lot of contact. The officials just said, we're going to let this be decided right now, or we're going to go to overtime, because, EJ put his nose down, and there was a lot of bumping going on, but he found a way to finish it. And it was a tough shot. But that's the kind of game it was. They didn't give us easy baskets. We gave up a lot more easy baskets than we did on Wednesday night. A lot of it was just their better execution. Antoine Young played a great game tonight. He didn't play particularly well on Wednesday, and I knew he would bounce back, and he sure did. And his point guard play, really gave us fits all night.
Coach, how about the overing back? I guess what kind of came into your mind when you saw that happen? Such a pivotal point in the game.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, we were denying the inbounds play. I mean, it was getting close. They didn't have any timeouts, and so when we went out, we said we're going to deny this really hard. And not let them throw the ball to the basket to Gregory, but deny everything really hard. And our guys did a good job. He was about ready to step over the sideline trying to get it in. So we pushed him back, and it was fortunate for us. Fellas, we were fortunate. That game could have went either way. We were fortunate we were at home. That last play was fortunate. We just got the breaks.
Coach, I know you talked a bunch about Jovan already, but it seemed like in that second half he just didn't want to go out losing that game.
Well, he's a competitor. He's proven that all year. He has proven that all year. And, I think he had a big steal when we were down. I'm not sure exactly what the score was, but he had a big steal there, big rebound. He made big plays. So, again, I can't say enough about him. I've tried to throughout the year to let you guys know, and gals, how important he was to our team. we rode him, we built everything around him, and he responded. And you know, I look back, I don't know how we won that first game against USC without him. You know, in the first game in the arena was Jovan was hurt, and looking back, I'm not sure how we won it without him, because again, we depended on him so much for everything all year. And other guys stepped up and they rallied around him and they got him the ball, but he was a guy that made the plays.
For your younger guys, I know it feels like end of season on a win and sort of carry the momentum into like your off season. How important is that?
Well, it's really important if they use it and work their tails off. You know, I talked to them there just about the investment they're going to have to make in this program for us to get better. Jovan Catron invested in this program for 4 years. This was his 5th year. He fought through injuries. You know, it wasn't like his career just went like this. He averaged 5 points, 8 points a game. I mean, it wasn't like he ever had a big year. And he fought through those injuries and stayed with it. His investment in the program, you know, came through. And we need other players to invest like that. And if they don't, they won't have the type of year or the type of career that Jovan had. There's no easy way. We're going to have to outwork people. You know, we're not as big as people. At times, we're not as athletic. We're going to have to outwork them. And our guys got to take that mentality. Jovan outworked people all year. He's not very big. He just outworks people. He plays hard. And so we came to every practice, every session that we had individual. He came and he worked his tail off. So we need other people to make that kind of investment. They know what it takes now. They've watched Jovan all year. We just need other guys to step up and do that.
Got your first year in the books. What is your process now? I mean, when do you kind of take a review of the season and start looking towards next year? How long will you allow yourself to enjoy this year? How long will you just kind of absorb what you learned this year?
We got a lot of work to do. There won't be any time off. I was supposed to be in Houston going to the Final Four, and I'm going to take a couple days because, I can't go out on the road here because it's, all the coaches are in Houston. But next Thursday starts a recruiting period, and, we'll be out on the road. We've got a lot of work to do with the junior class. We've got a lot of work to do with this year's class. When you take the challenge of going somewhere else and starting to practice, or, another program, then you got a lot of work to do, and we do. And Tony Stubblefield realizes that, Brian Fish, Kevin McKenna, Josh Jameson, we realize we got a lot of work ahead of us. And just as our players do, our coaching staff has a lot of work. There'll be time to buy a house and do all those things with my wife here as soon as we get some work done, and she's going to have to wait. We're going to have to wait for things like that until we, get the next year's team put together and get some work done on the next class, because we're going to have quite a few seniors, on next year's ball club. So we got to do a lot of work for the next year's class also.
You're saying a lot of work has to be done. Expectations are going to be higher going into next year based on they were already going to be higher, and now they're going to be even higher after what you guys have accomplished. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, we want that. We want to be picked 10th next year. We want the expectations. And when I talked with you guys earlier, next year the league's going to be tougher.